Hi, it's Cam Dovedi from Premier Property, and joining me today is Stefan Aarnio, all the way from Winnipeg, Canada. Now, Stefan, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Cam.
Well, we've just done a networking event here at Premier Property Club, and Stefan's delivered an excellent presentation there, really enjoyable. And both of us, we've raised millions when it comes to joint venture finance. Stefan, how much have you raised over the last 24 months, would you say?
Over the last 24 months, it's hard to say because we keep using the same money over and over again, but you know, north of 10 million.
North of 10 million.
And that's what I'm all about, is having that relationship so you can keep using the money over and over again.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So for people watching in, listening to this right now, what would be your number one top tip when it comes to finding finance, raising finance? What would you suggest?
All right. Well, I think the most important thing for raising money for anything, if it's real estate or anything else, is having a great deal. If you have a great deal, the money is really borrowing the deal, not so much you. And especially like yourself, Cam, you're borrowing big amounts of money. So the lender isn't so concerned with what does Cam make at his job. They're concerned, is this a good deal? And can the deal actually handle the finance and pay us back?
So key point there, absolutely making sure that the deal works, because every joint venture partner, everybody you're going to be working with wants to make sure that the numbers are working, the deal is great. What would you say have been the most challenging times for you? What have you found to be the largest challenge for you when it comes to raising finance, and how have you overcome that?
Well, I think the hardest part of raising money is when you have to raise small amounts of money. If you have, I had a deal recently. I had to get $90,000 for a deal.
Yeah.
I had to go on 10 meetings to get it, Cam. I didn't even get it. I raised $2 million from another guy. I did it in 2 meetings and got it all. So I think the lesson there is sizing yourself to the market of money that you're raising from.
So yeah, that's a very relevant point. What else do you think along your journey has assisted you to raise that finance?
Well, one of the things that I learned very early on, I'm 30 today, I was 22 when I started. I went and took a sales job, and I learned how to sell, and I think selling is the number one skill that every entrepreneur needs, because ultimately when you ask for something, when you want to raise money, you get rejected. And if you're rejected, if you don't have the sales skills and the ability to overcome objections and overcome rejection, I think it's going to be very hard for you. So I always recommend for people, if they want to get into this game, if they want to raise money, you gotta learn how to sell. It's the number one skill.
That is a key point. So selling, some of us, some of you might actually enjoy selling. Some of us don't actually enjoy selling, but there's different ways of doing that, right? So providing an opportunity, letting people know what you're about, sharing information with people, letting them know that you're open to answering every single question that they have. It alleviates all the fears, doesn't it? So yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. So just to finish off our interview here right now, you've just delivered a talk for us at the Premier Property Club, Canary Wharf. How did you find the environment? What were your thoughts about it?
Wonderful group. You know, I polled the audience, about 60% of the room was doing deals. We had people doing multiples of deals. We had a couple of beginners. I found it to be a very high caliber group, very educated group, wonderful group to speak to. Thank you, Cam.